What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV and we are back. The long-awaited turn of the Unpopular Opinion series. We've got quite a few to get through. Absolutely hot off the press. We've sent out a tweet this morning and Twitter has been going absolutely wild with your unpopular opinions. I have not seen any of them yet, so I'm really excited to get into these, but we love a bit of unpopular opinions, don't we, Sim?
Yeah, it's one of my favourite videos. I love to see people's wacky opinions and what they've got to say. Usually, people have a lot of unpopular things to say, so I'm really looking forward to this. Let's go.
Yeah, some people have a lot of popular things to say that I think they're unpopular as
yeah,
well,
sometimes people don't quite get the concept. I think people are learning over time how it goes.
So. And, you know, usually they're just inundated with Dele Alli unpopular opinions, and I've got a feeling that there won't be any this time. So,
he should never have been sold, people will say.
All right, let's get into them because I'm really excited for this one. The first one is from SpursyDave, saying selling Kane in the summer will be best for Tottenham to use the money for new signings.
People said that a lot last summer, didn't they? But to be fair, the form he's in, I don't think it's the case. You can't have a player of that quality who's just the best striker and the best number 9 and best number 10 and tell me selling him would improve us, whoever we bring in.
Look, at the end of the day, right, when you're looking at Harry Kane, he's our best playmaker. He's our best goal scorer, best all-round player. How much would we get for him? 150 million tops, right, this summer,
exactly.
if we're going to get him? So tell me, can you buy a world-class number 10? Can you buy a world-class number 9 with that money?
In the long term, you're thinking long-term strategy, getting a lot of maybe younger players for decent price, and maybe in a few years they become something. But that's a lot of risk. Right now, we know what Kane brings. We know how good he is. And I think, for me, we have to make the money anywhere but Kane. Literally. Yeah. So everyone else, don't sell Kane. Build the team around him.
But is it going to get to a stage like that where we're going to have to get rid if he doesn't sign that contract?
Yeah, well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to that. If he doesn't want to sign a contract in the summer, then it does become a bit of a dangerous situation. Depends. Look, if we don't get Champions League, then I don't begrudge Kane for wanting to leave.
Are we going to gamble? Are we going to gamble all the way to the end of his contract, just like somehow we can turn it around and he'll sign a contract?
It depends on us. If we're not going in the right direction, then I think maybe it is best to sell him just for his own sake. But if we are, then I want to keep him.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Next one, Connor Robinson. Mourinho was better than people remember.
I completely agree with that. I completely agree. I mean, you're seeing the problems that Spurs are having now under Antonio Conte. You saw the problems that Spurs had under Jose Mourinho and under Maurizio Pochettino. And yes, I think the problems were the same under Jose Mourinho. And people clowned on Jose Mourinho a lot because of what's happened in the past and how it got toxic at a lot of the clubs he's been at and stuff like that. But everything he said rang true, in my opinion. He got done the dirty getting sacked 6 days before a cup final, which was definitely true. And you saw, like, he got really good results out of this team. We were top of the league in December. And yes, it all went wrong, but I think if Jose Mourinho got what he needed at Tottenham, I think he would have succeeded here. I genuinely believe that. Yes, look, he wasn't all perfect and he had his own flaws as well, but I do think he did a better job than people make out.
Yeah, and he had that partnership with Son and Kane, didn't he? Like free-flowing.
He's the reason why Son and Kane are the record holders in this league for combined efforts, in my opinion.
Yeah, and he had a lot of problems to deal with, like a lot of problems. And I think look, where were we in the league when he left? What, 6th?
Like that, yeah.
6th. And
we weren't even that far away from Champions League.
We weren't. And as you said, League Cup final, he got sacked before that. So I think he was treated quite harshly. I don't think he did too badly. Look, there were some games where the football wasn't great, but that's happened this season as well under different managers, not just and under Pochettino it happened as well. So I don't think he did that badly. And you look back in some of the big game performances, we did quite well in those games, like defensively as well.
Hey, we did win 6-1 at Old Trafford under Jose.
Yeah, we beat Man City under Pep as well, and 2-0 at home. A very good performance. Like Arsenal at home, we beat them 2-0. Like we had some good games, but yeah, look, it did go wrong, but we didn't have the squad. Let's be honest.
But I think if we would have persisted with him and given him what he wanted, in terms of in the transfer market, I think it would have been a different story. And also, a big thing with Jose Mourinho is that he majorly split the fan base when he came here.
Yeah.
And and he had half the fan base against him for his whole entirety of his Spurs career. So he was fighting a losing battle pretty much from the beginning.
Yeah, it's different to now where everyone's on Antonio's side, isn't it? Mourinho had to win a lot of people over. And I don't think he's doing too bad at Roma.
He's not. And when you're looking at some of the stuff that Conte's coming out with and some of the football that Conte's thrown up so far, if Jose Mourinho was doing that and saying that, people would be very quick to jump on his back. But
He's
because
losing it, he's saying all the narratives.
Exactly. And because it's Conte and because of what he's been through in the last few years of his career, and people know that he's a top 5 manager in the world, no one's saying that to him.
Exactly. I agree with that.
Let's move on to the next one. And this is from Eric Sonny _SZN saying Skip is a much better player than Højbjerg.
I don't think he's a much better player than Højbjerg right now. I think he has the potential to be. Like he's what, 4 or 5 years younger than Højbjerg. I just think Skip at the moment is coming to the Tottenham team and played very well. But he's still very young and he still has a lot of improving to do. And I think he's had a brilliant first season, but he's had a brilliant first season for a 20-year-old playing his first Premier League season. I don't think if you're comparing him to most other centre mids, especially in the top 6, you're saying he definitely gets in there or he's definitely right now above them. Can you say that about Højbjerg? I think he'll probably get more game time right now. I think Højbjerg's a better player right now, to be honest. I do.
But I'm saying, does Højbjerg get into any of the teams in the top 6?
Does he get any? Potentially Man United, I think. Potentially their centre mid. I think he can. I reckon he could be arguably better than Fred or Montgomery. Arguably, it's tough to call that. Man City, no. Liverpool, don't think so. Chelsea, don't think he gets in there. And then it's like Arsenal.
Does he get into the Arsenal team?
I think Partey's better than him, but him and Xhaka are probably very similar level. I think
he's better than Xhaka.
Yeah, I think probably a bit better than Xhaka, although I think Xhaka's probably a bit better on the ball. He's probably definitely off the ball better than Xhaka. So I think he does probably get into the Arsenal team.
In terms of my opinion on this, I think the tweet is Skip is much better than Højbjerg. I would say, as it stands right now, he's not. But I think he's got a much bigger ceiling than Højbjerg.
Yeah, I think he's a lot calmer on the ball. He's much better when people are pressing him, and he doesn't like lose the ball in a costly way as much as Højbjerg does. But I feel like Højbjerg right now is just a bit more authority on the pitch, and I think as well when we're like progressing the ball up the pitch, I think Højbjerg might be a bit better when given time and space than Skip does. If you're given either of them time and space in the centre of a pitch, I back Højbjerg to pull off a more dangerous pass than Skip. But I also back Skip to be better at ball retention and keeping the ball ticking over and stuff like that.
I like Skip better in maybe the tight spaces as opposed to when you're talking about open spaces.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right, let's move on.
All right, next one is from Ends in One. It says, our first team with everyone fit under Conte is just about a top 4 team. The problem is quality, not depth. Sorry, the problem is quality in depth, sorry.
I don't think
everyone fit, it's just about a top 4 team.
I don't think I agree with this one. I think that we just outside the top 4. When you're looking at quality of first 11s in the top 4, right? You know, you've got the 3 teams of Man City, Liverpool and Chelsea who are miles better than us in terms of quality in the first 11. And then you've got Man United, and you've got to say quality alone in the first 11, they're miles better than us.
Yeah, what does it mean to be a top 4 team? You only mean something by comparison to others, right?
Yeah.
If you can have an amazing team, but there's 10 teams who are even more amazing, then you're not even a top 10 team. Like, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
And by that very fact, we're not a top 4 team right now in terms of quality, because Man United's quality is much, much better than ours. Much better. Varane. They've got a Varane in their centre back. It's one of their centre backs.
Varane, Cristiano Ronaldo, Edison,
Wan-Bissaka gets
Pogba.
Luke Shaw probably gets in a left back for us. Yeah, Pogba, Sancho.
They got really Marcus Rashford, who does hardly gets into their team anymore.
Yeah, Rashford probably gets in. Might get a lot of minutes in our team. You know, even players. Langa's coming through. He looks very good. Cavani and Ronaldo, 2 very good strikers. Bruno Fernandes, didn't even mention him. He definitely walks into our team. So we're not, like, quality-wise, the only difference between Tottenham and United right now, the only reason we're closer is because of the managers. If Conte, or they had a very good manager, if Conte was a Man United manager, they'll be league title challengers.
Agreed.
That's the truth. And we're just about keeping with top 4 because we got Conte. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
Not because of how good we are.
Absolutely spot on there. All right, let's move on. Next one is Graham Roon saying Matt Doherty was always the answer, just needed to play his actual position.
I don't think he was always the answer. I think he's playing very well right now. What I'll say is I do think chopping and changing positions and managers hasn't helped him. I don't think playing right back in a Mourinho system was ever going to be his forte. It was extremely different to how he played at Wolves. We're now seeing definitely more how the position he used to play at Wolves. So I think right now we're seeing a much better Matt Doherty. I don't think he's just because he's playing well right now, he's the answer.
Exactly.
But it reminds me of, for example, like, you know, when different position, but you know, when like Pavlyuchenko like had that great half a season where he just dragged us to top four, like he stepped up. But doesn't mean he's now the best striker in the league and he's the answer for time. It just means in that period for us, he did very well and he stepped up for us. But we still need to improve on him. But fair play on him for stepping up when we needed him to.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, to be honest. I mean, to say Matt Doherty's the answer is a bit crazy right now after 2 good performances in 2 years. Like, come on, like
he's definitely showing more though.
Look, you can't get away from the fact that he's playing well at the moment. The last 2 games he's played, he's been brilliant in the league. But we still need to upgrade on him, and he's by far from the answer in my opinion.
Like there's always going to be games where he's going to be ripped apart just because I don't think he's that good defensively.
And let's be honest, these 2 teams that we've played, Everton and Leeds, are probably the 2 worst performing teams in the league at the moment.
That's also true, so you've got to take that into account.
All right, go on. Let's move on to the next one.
Mikhail says, THFC Mikhail, we have the best attack in the Premier League. That is unpopular. It's what Salah, Mane, Jota, Diaz, Firmino. I think that's probably wins it. Sterling, Mahrez, Foden, Grealish. I mean, those 2 definitely.
We might have the 3rd best attack in the league.
I think our front 3, you could argue, gets into Chelsea's front 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think we've got a better forward line than Chelsea, in my opinion.
United. The thing is, with United, you got Sancho, Ronaldo, Rashford, Bruno.
I actually think I prefer Spurs' front line than United's.
Yeah,
because Kane and Son gets into anyone's team. That's
the truth. Yeah, it's all about that. Right, the other one, Kulu's playing very well at the moment, isn't he? But yeah, I think I'd much rather.
It's too early to say on Kulu though.
Yeah, I think Kane's probably right now better than Ronaldo. As much as Ronaldo is still a good striker, I don't think he's as good as Kane at the moment. And Son's playing better than Sancho, but Sancho was playing at a very high level out in Dortmund. He just hasn't translated it yet.
Yeah, I would still put Son ahead of Dortmund, ahead of Sancho in the pecking order. I would.
Yeah. So look, we're definitely up there. Our attack is definitely top 4, that's for sure. I don't think it's the best.
To say it's the best, that's a bit too far.
I think Salah's on his own. You could argue just him, he's playing out of his skin at the moment.
Yeah. Next up, we've got the Malu Hotspur saying Harry Kane will win the Golden Boot and overtake Mo Salah.
He's 9 goals away with 12 games to go. I don't think it's going to be possible.
Because even if Kane scores, even if he scores every game from now to the end of the season, Salah's still going to get a bag load of goals as well himself. So, look, I think that if they were closer, if there was only about 3 or 4 goals in it, then maybe.
He might get 20. I wouldn't put it past him getting 20.
Yeah, but if he gets 20, Mo Salah gets close to 30.
He's not going to get... No, he won't overtake Salah, but he might get 20, which is a good milestone for him considering the first half of the season he had. If he gets 20, that's pretty impressive. But yeah, he's not going to overtake Salah. No. That's my wish. All right, next one. Yo-Yo says we should let go of Reguilon and look for a natural left wing back to compete with Sessegnon.
I'm not sure about this one. In terms of Reguilon and Sessegnon, both of them blow hot and cold. I'm not too sure what to think of the left back situation. I think I would like to keep them both for one more season, give them one more season, let them prove themselves to see their worth. Because I actually believe in both of them. But they do blow hot and cold. So I'd like to see them have one more year with Conte and see what he could do with them, to be fair.
Yeah, I like Reguilon. I think, especially when he has a bit more rotation with Sessegnon, I think we might see the best out of both of them. And Sessegnon's in good form at the moment. So I don't want to... I would rather keep Reguilon. Look, how much are we getting for Reguilon from the Madrid contract? What, 45 million euros or pounds?
Euros, I think it is.
Yeah, so I think about a left back or left wing back who's better than Reguilon, who we can get for that money. It's going to be difficult to find it. So I think I'd keep them both. And Sessegnon, remember, he's so young, 21. So I definitely want to keep him as well. He's developing nicely. They're both quite young.
Yeah, look, I like them both, but I don't think either of them have reached consistently the best levels we've seen or, anywhere near what Rose was showing on a consistent basis.
No, but I think they can. I think especially Reguilon. I think he can. I think they both can actually. And I think Reguilon actually, since Conte's come in, he's had a few injuries and whatnot. But I think by and large he's been pretty good.
And we've seen the best of Sessegnon since Conte has come in.
Yeah, and I think more and more time, one game a week, we'll see even better from them. I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right. Well, that brings an end to the episode 1 of the Unpopular Opinions. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.